personally, like you said, it's been a pretty good season for me. Obviously, it would be a bit more amazing if we had a success as a team as well, and then you are also having a successful season yourself. But I mean, it doesn't really say much when you have a successful season when your team's not really having a successful season. Then it's like, oh, okay. But no, I mean, with the season we had last year, don't really like talking about last year because we had different team and, you know, different time, different type of luck and everything. But, you know, the season that we had last year and then coming into the season that we have this year, I guess you get to, you know, see best of both worlds. You know, you know how it feels whenever everything's going up, and now this season, you know how it feels when everything's going down, down, down. So rather have it now in my career than maybe later on. You know, it's an experience I think every player at least goes through once in their career.
Mm-hmm. And how much does playing in the Champions League do for you as a player?
Oh, as a player, mentally, it's overwhelming. It's in a good way, though, of course. You know, you get to live out a kid's dream. Of course, my dream as well. You know, playing in America, you don't think, okay, I'm going to play in a Champions League game one day, because you're thinking about, I'm going to play in MLS, and they don't compete there. So, you know, coming here and the first thing you hear is the Champions League anthem, and you're standing there looking around at all the fans, you're like, oh, so you get goosebumps. And, you know, for me, I think it's allowed me to see how I compare on a higher level, you know, not just the Bundesliga, but amongst, you know, top players and top clubs around the world. So, I mean, I think the game we had against Man City, as you saw, shows that we can play, and it was fun, you know, to be able to play there. Of course, it wasn't the result we wanted, but it was still a fun time.
Where do you think you still need to perhaps find a bit more maturity or the right decision making, or just have an improvement that would take you to the little bit forward or to the next level or a step forward?
As me, you know, our coaches always ask the player, you know, what do you think your weak points are and also your strong points. You know, for me, I'm a player that I fight, I go up for, you know, tackles, I go into headers, I go into everything I can, and I don't really like give up on a play until it's really over. For me, I've always thought my weak point, you know, sometimes maybe the final pass, the final decision making. Also, sometimes, you know, I have a sloppy pass here and there in the middle of the field that might cause a counter, or maybe first touch, and that's what I've been working on this season a lot, is my first touch, and you'd say in German Ballannahme, and, you know, which way to turn if someone's pressuring you and everything. So
definitely. And now you touched upon it a little bit already, but just wondered if you could give me a bit more detail on some of the individual coaching that you're getting, and also the input from Domenico Tedesco, who's not much older than you, almost, still a young guy. How much does it benefit you as a player to get that much attention for your game?
Yeah, it helps you psychologically, you know, mentally. You know, whenever you see someone telling you that you can get better in this and telling you what you are doing wrong, what you're doing right, and it shows that he cares about you, it shows that he's paying attention to you. And I'm a person, I need a lot of attention. My girlfriend always says that I need a lot of attention. So, you know, it helps out, you know, mentally, because if I go throughout training and I'm messing up and, you know, the coach doesn't say nothing to me, then I'm thinking, like, does he even care about me? Like, because you know it yourself that you messed up, but hearing it from someone that matters or someone that, you know, you respect their opinion of helps a lot more. So, you know, last year it was a big help for me, hearing all the things he had to say to me, like, Wes, you know, for me, my problem last year was also physically as well. You know, I had, you know, eating issues, not issues, but, you know, I didn't, you know, always eat correct and eat the right stuff. So he said, you know, we'll get you a Ernährungsberater, you know, a food person to tell you what to eat better, you know, maybe go in the gym a little bit more, work on your first touch, maybe shooting as well. And you know, at the beginning of this season and preseason, he went over stuff that I, you know, can get better on, and attacking wise and defensive wise, and maybe one-on-one defending, turning, because sometimes I'm a little, you know, stiff in my hips to turn in 180. So yeah, I mean, he's helped out a lot. He's young, like you said, and easy to talk to. So
Cool. And there's another one, I guess. We have to talk about Christian. How much fun do you have with him? Kind of off the pitch, you get chances to hang out with each other a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we watched the World Cup together, the final. Sometimes we go over and he has a pool in his apartment, so go for a swim or something like that. As you know, there's more Americans here as well that play for Schalke, and we try and hang out as much as we can and with the time that we have. I mean, this season's a little hard because, you know, we're playing every 3 days, so it's a little bit more difficult than, let's say, last year or whenever we were playing with U19s. But I mean, I just saw him the other day. He was sat down at the studio with him while he was getting a tattoo, so or finishing up a tattoo that he had. So, I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, of course, it's gonna suck whenever he leaves and goes to Chelsea, but you know, happy for him and maybe have an excuse to go to England now.
Absolutely. And how much of a help was he, you think, to open the doors for Americans in the Bundesliga because of his success, but at the same time maybe making it easier for Americans to see that the Bundesliga is a good place to come and further your career?
Yeah, he's helped out a lot. I mean, him coming over here and at such a young age and accomplish what he accomplished at that time is something that, you know, most people might not have agreed with. Most people have been like, oh my God, like he's insane for trying that in the first place, you know, because what if it didn't happen, or what if it didn't work out as he thought it was? Well, that shows you the type of person he is. He doesn't think about the negative. He thinks about, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna work out. And for him to come over here and make that happen and, you know, get on the bench for Dortmund at 17 and, you know, play his professional games in his career, I think showed a lot of people in America that it's possible and that Germany is a land of opportunity for young, you know, Americans coming over. And, you know, let's say maybe before England was that land of opportunity that people saw, but, you know, many players went to England and, you know, England was a lot of trial and error, trial and fail, and they come over here and then go on loan. And I guess Christian really showed that, you know, Germany and let alone where he's at, Dortmund, gave him the opportunity. And I saw that and I said, hey, why not? You know, maybe it works out the same for me.
And on a serious point, do you think that kind of togetherness and that bond that you have can actually be very beneficial for when you all get together and play on the same team when you go back for the USMNT?
Yeah, I mean, any connection you have with any player I think is important, builds chemistry. And, you know, the longer you know someone and the more you get to know what they like, or the more that you get to hang out with them, you kind of get their personality, you get their sense, and then, you know, on the field it just clicks. You know, me and Christian have known each other since 13. Me and Tyler have known each other since I think I was 14 or 15. Josh Sargent, it's more so recent, but I feel like I've known him for a while now. I mean, I think it'll definitely play a big role in the upcoming years, you know, with the national team, and hopefully a successful future.
That was just my next question. Do you sense that this is now a generation of players coming through that could do something special together?
I do believe so, because what I like or what I see is, you know, we're all kind of in the same age range, you can say, and as you see, there's many of us in Europe already. And the thing that kind of, you know, I notice, maybe not other people might look at it this way, but I see it as, you know, these kids are driven, these kids are, you know, risk takers, these kids know what they want. Or men, you can say. These men know what they want. And I like to see that a little, because I want to know who I'm going to be playing next to, or what type of mentality they have. And if they have that mentality like, okay, you know, I don't want to take this risk, or I don't want to, you know, go to Germany and fail. They're not thinking like that. They're thinking, I'm going to go to Germany, I'm going to succeed, I'm going to make it. And, you know, I like to see that, because whenever I'm playing next to them, I know, okay, they're going to go the extra step. They're going to take that risk. They're going to go into this tackle for me, because, you know, they have something bigger that they're fighting for. They have something that they're trying to prove. And, you know, it helps me, it calms me also. And you know, hopefully we all get to be on the national team, you know, and all the way up until qualifiers, until World Cup, for God forbid any injuries or unluckiness.
How is it for you as a young player? You know what you can do. You've seen last year what the team can do, but it's easy to lose your confidence a little bit, or to lose that kind of sense of security, shall we say. How do you deal with that? How do you tell yourself, you know what, forget about that, we know that we can get better results? Or how do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, you kind of have to look at it in a sense this way, like, when things aren't going well, and I watched a YouTube video of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, giving a motivational speech, and he said, in the situation that we're in right now, his quote applies to it. We're so far down that, our back's up against the wall. There's a bad thing, of course, your back's up against the wall, but the good thing is, if your back's up against the wall, there's no way to go back even further. There's only one direction, it's forward. And I kind of look at it that way, in a sense, I have nothing else to lose. We're already, in a deep mess, and the only way now is to look forward and, be confident and come out and not look down, look up and show you, because, the fans see that, and the fans, feel it if you're scared, or if you're, willing to not give everything you have. And that's not the type of person I am. I'm a person, doesn't matter what situation it is. If I'm sick, if I'm feeling injured, I'm still going to try and give everything I can until I can't anymore. And I think, the key is just to, not lose your confidence, and to know that there's going to be better times, and you're the biggest influence on that. So.